Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm hanging out here today in the mountain tortoise enclosure with the elongated and mountain tortoise. I'm just gonna pop a squat right here. Hopefully y'all can see me and we'll get to chatting right now. So yeah, man, I'm just enjoying life right now in the old backyard. And once again, it's Thursday, it's 3 o'clock Eastern, so we're gonna talk about tortoises and whatever other animals I have. And also just a reminder, next week, we're actually going to do a live show from the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. I'm going to take the live show on the road and kind of get some different viewpoints, some different animals, some different people involved. That'll be a lot of fun. So join me next week, Thursday, 3 o'clock, for a live show from the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. Right now, I'm trying to get the tortoises closer to us. We have one male mountain tortoise right here, and he's just at my feet. And this guy right here is a lot of fun. And while we're at it, why don't we say hello? Connor, I started, dude. Settle down. Connor Maynard is like, come on, man, start. Let's see. Hi, Connor. How you doing? Who else we got here? Isaiah, hi. Arachnid Facts, hi back to you, buddy. Very cool. Good luck. Good evening from the Netherlands. Good evening from South Florida. Good afternoon. We got an elongated tortoise making his way over here right now between my legs, and yet another, if you guys can see this one. There's another mountain tortoise, and they'll all just start to come in here. I don't like to move the camera when we do the live shows because unfortunately we get a bit of a lag once we move around. Also wanted to let you know, if you guys haven't, we have Kamp Kenan shirts available. We've got youth sizes, women's sizes, and XXL. And seems like green is the hot flavor, man. Everyone's buying green shirts, so that's cool. But we also have black and we have sand colored. All right, man, let's get to it. I just wanted to do something fun today and talk about, the mountain tortoise. Most people don't really see them too often. They are from Southeast Asia, and also the elongated tortoise right here. They're also from Southeast Asia. So these two tortoises, I keep them together in this habitat because it's, these are both animals that come from the same region. They're animals that both come from the same kind of environmental needs. They like high humidity. They can take cooler but not freezing temperatures. So when I say cooler temperatures, we had a cold spell here in South Florida and it got down into the 40s at night. They were able to burrow into the leaf litter and not have any additional heat on them, which is great. I mean, if you live in Florida and you want the most bulletproof tortoises to work with, then your mountain tortoises and your elongated tortoises are definitely going to be the ones you should look into, because these guys are just fantastic, man. I got a spider on the, if you guys see a spider in your view, it's going to be because there's a spider on the camera, but we'll just leave him for now. So these guys are great. I really love them. They have really interesting personalities. They're not shy, in my opinion. And these are the ones that are very inquisitive, and they come over, like this little guy right here. He's coming over to see if I have any food. Let me see if I can get him. The other thing funny about these tortoises is they have no problem nipping at fingers. They are slow, methodical attack tortoises. There you go, buddy. So they're the ones you got to watch out for. Usually people will say, I'll tell people that tortoises don't bite, but that's not entirely true when you're talking about the mountain tortoises. These guys actually will bite. But the elongateds get their name because they have this elongated shell that you can kind of see right here. And this is a male. We see that it's got that concavity there, and that's so he can fit on top of the females, and he's got the large tail. But with the mountain tortoises, they don't really have a concaved plastron. In fact, it's pretty flat. What they do have is a longer tail tip. They're pretty tough to tell the difference between male and females. The way you do it, and I don't want to lift him right now while he's eating. Here comes a female back here. This is a female. Her tail will not go past the second spur on their thighs. Now these also have, I should mention, they have long spikes on their thighs, or spurs, but they are also known as the six-legged tortoise because those spurs get extremely long. So they can be pretty interesting tortoises to look at. And when you also look at them, you'll see that their front legs and their shells kind of resemble, you can see how Asian cultures look towards nature for their artwork. Because if you really look at the mountain tortoise, these are an animal that definitely have inspired the peoples in their range. Because if you look how they draw tortoises, if you look how their artwork is, they have similar lines. And I really love that. I think it's really unique and interesting how nature really does have an impact on us. And here's a little, I want to try and get this, but it's a little tick that's on top of this tortoise's neck. Let me see if I can pull it off. I'm going to do this live here, a little manicuring for the tortoises. And that's normal. You're going to get ticks from time to time on these animals. I got it off there. We're going to squish the tick and make sure it doesn't live to breed. But yeah, they'll get ticks from time to time. I just pick them off. I also use Frontline, which is a product that you can use on dogs and cats. Just make sure you never get that in the tortoise's eyes. And that's one way I get the ticks off. But I love this female back here. Now, I've had these animals in this enclosure now for about 10 years, and they're doing fantastic. These guys really do love this enclosure. They like canopy. If you guys were able to see up top, what we're looking at here is actually some mango trees. And these mango trees provide some nice shade. And then we also have the palmetto, which is fantastic also for them to hide in. Lots of leaf litter. That's important as well for this species. These guys are going to eat a higher fruit content than other tortoise species like your leopard or sulcata tortoises. These guys are going to be able to eat more fruit as they are found in regions with more plentiful fruit and vegetation. They're definitely forest dwelling tortoise. Same care goes for the elongateds. These guys are very, very similar in diet and care. That's why, as I mentioned at the top of the live video, that these guys definitely get to cohabitate. Now, another interesting thing about the mountain tortoise, there's the Burmese brown mountain tortoise, and then there is the Burmese black mountain tortoise. I only have black mountain tortoise here. What you'll see is when you flip them upside down, and I'm going to grab a smaller tortoise here. Let's see if I can show you guys this. We're going to grab them. If you were to have a brown mountain tortoise, and there's a video we did, and I show you this, but I'm just going to refresh everyone's memory. The brown mountain tortoise's pectoral scutes right here on the plastron, they will not come to the midline. There's a midline right there. You see that line? We got a helicopter going overhead, so it might get loud for a second. I apologize. Give me 1 second. We'll let this ghetto bird get overhead here. All right. There you go. It's going away. So as I was saying, on the brown mountain tortoise, the pectorals stop right here, and they have a line, and there goes that spider all the way over here. Come on, buddy. So the mountain tortoise, the black mountain tortoise, you can see their pectoral scutes will show up, and they connect right at the midline there. So that's the way you tell the difference. It's not necessarily color, believe it or not, because there is some blacker brown mountain tortoise and some browner. I just got poop all over me. And some browner black mountain tortoise. So that's what we're doing there. Now let's see this big gal. They're all coming over here. I want to get them to congregate in this area and keep them around so you guys can kind of get a feel. Now I've got 22 of the elongated tortoise here, and they're in various spots. And once they smell the food, they'll all start pouring out. And I have 5 of the mountain tortoise. I have 3 males and 2 females. For whatever reason, it's tougher to find female mountain tortoise in captivity than it is males, or is that reversed? It's harder to find the males than it is the females. My apologies. But let's take a little questions here from everybody. Let's see. James Kane says Charlie's clog. They don't have a penis; they have a cloaca. That's not true. Male tortoises have penises that are hidden inside their cloacas. The cloaca is simply a word for opening. And it's an opening in reptiles and amphibians and fish and birds that it's kind of like a multi-purpose opening. They'll excrete waste through it. Their genitals can be found either in the case of a female just on the inside of it or a male just on the inside, but the male tortoise will avert his penis, and that's how he's able to fertilize the female's eggs. Let's see, Danny B would just like to say hello. He's a wildlife conservation student in England. That I inspire him to work hard for what's important. And secondly, why don't you take on volunteers? Thanks so much for watching, Danny B, and for being a conservation student out there in England. Definitely need more folks to care about the environment and nature. Why don't I take volunteers? It's my house. Quite simply, this is my home. And, you know, there are insurance reasons why I don't do that. In the United States, it's a very litigious culture, and people like to sue all the time. And unfortunately, if someone tripped and fell or got bit by a mountain tortoise, they may own my house, and I don't want to give away my house for an accident. So I don't do volunteers. I'm not at that point yet. But the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary, where I'll be doing a live video from next week, they do take volunteers, and you're more than welcome to apply and do volunteer work for them, as they are open to the public, and they're a fantastic organization. Let's see. Kamp Kenan, do I have Russian tortoises? The Nerf tortoise asks. Legit? No, I don't. Russian tortoises like it very dry here in South Florida. They don't do well in the summer, so therefore I don't work with them, man. Do I have any horsefield? That's the same question. That's from Poppy 1107. Horsefield and Russian tortoise are the same species. Do mangoes fall on the tortoises sometimes? Yes, Reptiverse, they do. They sometimes fall on me. But now, as far as the mangoes, that's in June and July. I am crazy about mangoes. So I try and get them before the tortoises do. But the ones that fall to the ground, the tortoises are really incredible because they actually just get right to it and start eating them. And there have been, there's some stories of mountain tortoise in the wild knowing when fruits are going to drop, and they start to congregate near trees that are about to bear fruit. So they start hanging around. And they know because, as you know, tortoises, or maybe you don't know, but tortoises are creatures of habit. They don't live in a large range, most of them. They live in their home range, and it's a place that they know where the water is, they know where the plants are, they know where the foods they eat are. So what they do is they wander through that range in a little bit of a pattern. And at certain times of the year, they get back to an area and they know when the fruit's about to fall. So they start to wait and they have a field day. They just go to town eating. So it's really cool. And they do the same thing here. They know when the fruits are about to drop. So I let them get the mangoes, of course. Let's see. Am I coming to Repticon in Orlando on the 28th? I have no plans as of now. Probably later on in the year when I have more babies to sell, I'll be hitting up some Repticons, but as of now, no. Let's see. How many left in the world? Deserted Reptiles 98 asks on the black and brown mountain tortoise. I don't have a full number, but I do know that these are an endangered species of tortoise, and they're one that the Turtle Survival Alliance really cares about managing in captivity. These animals right here do belong to the Turtle Survival Alliance, with the exception of this critter right here. This animal I got from a gentleman who is a renowned breeder of the mountain tortoise by the name of Vic Morgan. This is one of his animals that I bought in 2005. What I've noticed also with mountain tortoises is they are slow growers. These guys don't really grow too quickly, not like in a sulcata, but these guys, they take their time. They truly grow like a tortoise, slow. So this is an animal that is about 12 years old right now, and that's as big as it is, but it is a male. So that's pretty exciting. And you also rarely see pyramiding in this animal. And that's because scientists believe because where they're from is very high in humidity, and we know that humidity helps early development of shells. And also, these animals will eat a higher protein content than some of the other animals. You know, they will scavenge from time to time. You know, I do see them eat earthworms from time to time. It's not something you have to worry about giving them in captivity, but they'll make use of protein when it is readily available, if there's some kind of carcass. To be honest, I notice a lot of forest species do that as well. My redfoot tortoises will do that. The yellowfoot tortoises have done that, where they've eaten carrion. And carrion is the word for a dead and decaying animal flesh, animal body. So that's what I think. Let's see, man. Lily Stamps, I have a Spurthite tortoise and she loves, you do, thank you so much. Tortoise Power forever. Thanks for watching the show, guys. Sergio Botello from Dallas says hello, and I'm saying hello back to you, brother. Alec Hernandez, I do have Greek tortoises. They're just out of view here, and I just got some more eggs. I just shipped off my last Greek tortoise to a nice family in California. He should be arriving any moment now. So that's the last of my babies, but in about 60 days, I'm going to have some more baby Greek tortoises for sale. You can always email me at kampkenan@gmail.com to check out, to get a price list from me. Right now I have available cherry head tortoises, baby cherry heads, and a few baby redfoots. Redfoots are $125, and the cherry heads are $200 plus shipping, all prices plus shipping. Let's see, how old can a mountain tortoise get? They can get quite old. We're talking 80 to 100 years old, like most other tortoises. They are definitely long-lived animals, and they're really, really fun, very personable. They do come over to me when I show up here. And let me see if I can move to the other side so you guys can kind of see a little bit more of the tortoises here. I'm going to get down in here. Oh, there, you guys can see me, right? Good deal. Let's keep talking to you guys. This is why we do this, man. I really just like doing these videos I know they aren't necessarily the highest quality videos, but it's a really great opportunity for us to get together as a community. You guys can ask questions. We can all learn from each other and we can share our experiences. And plus, it's just another fun way to get out there and show you guys things. So let's see. Connor Maynard is asking what the best reptile for kids is. I love tortoises. I think they're easy to care for and clean. Bearded dragons are great if you want to start with a lizard. Leopard geckos, things of that nature. Let's see. Tyler Madsen. Hey, Kenan, love your videos. Sitting here with my red iguana, Roscoe. He loves my tortoises. I appreciate that. My tortoises love iguanas as well. Some of them cohabitate with some of my Iggies, my Cuban iguanas and rhino iguanas. And it's nice. It's nice when you have animals that all eat similar foods. It just makes it easier to care for everybody. Let's see. Happy Tortoises has a question. How do I safely open a tortoise's mouth to do a swab? I have a special tool that I made that was, I was taught how to do it by my friend Sam Pascucci from Florida Iguana and Tortoise Breeders. You can check him out online. He sells tortoises and he's a great guy. You take a butter knife, and I used my grinding machine to kind of make the tip of it smaller, okay? I wish I had it handy. Maybe we'll do a video about this. And you bend that tip, and you can gently push it up underneath their beak and gently turn it. And it's uncomfortable, and it makes them open their mouth. And once you open their mouth, you can take a swab really quickly. It usually requires two people. One person has to hold the neck of the tortoise, and the other person has to kind of manipulate that tool to open the tortoise's mouth. It's not always easy, and you got to be gentle because you can crack their jaws, so you got to be careful. What do I think about carpet python as a first snake? I like them. I think they're great. You know, some snakes and like the carpets will get a pretty incredible feed response. So I would go with, you know, a little jungle carpet or something. They don't get too huge, and they are good snakes. So definitely check them out. I love the carpet pythons. I have some myself, Peter and Colin. They're actually indoors now because it's the winter. Although today is a day they could have been brought outside, but I just kind of keep all the snakes indoors for the winter just to minimize my workload. Let's see, who else has got a question? Let's see. Oh, Harry Hutchinson. It's snowing in England. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Jack Roberts from the UK is asking, what advice would I give for keeping a tortoise outside in the UK? Tough one, man. I haven't lived there in the UK. I visited. I know that it has a wet, cool winter. It's snowing there right now. So let's see. I'm trying to get comfy here, guys. Oh, goodness. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Kind of getting to lean on my tortoises for support here. I would say, you know, I'd go with the European species because obviously you guys are in Europe. So we're talking about Greeks and Hermans and marginated tortoise and so on. That's definitely going to be a big help. But if you have indoor accommodations for the winter and you can handle a little bit bigger tortoise, redfoot tortoises are nice because they do like, or they can take higher humidity. So it's really about finding an animal that fits into the environment. And also the elongated tortoise would be a neat species because they're small, they like humidity and take cooler temperatures. Not freezing, but cooler. I do sell the elongated tortoises, Jacob Cox. They are $125 plus shipping, and I only ship here in the United States. But I do love them, and I try and make them a more popular pet because they are, in fact, very easy to care for. Would it be possible, this is Gridlock asking me, would it be possible to have a turtle pond inside a tortoise pen without any safety issues? If you made the turtle pond sloping, where there's no drop-offs, sharp drop-offs, then you can do it. I've done it before. Just make sure the tortoises you get enjoy soaking. So, which most tortoises do, to be perfectly honest. So that would be a kind of cool little habitat. Let's see. Is it okay to feed baby sulcata tortoises grass from outside by shelled reptiles? Yeah, as long as you know the grass has not been chemically fertilized. See if they'll eat it. It's always good to get them started on grass. Very important, as it is a big part of their diet, and different weeds and so on. Hey, let's see. Danny Lozano asks, what does a wildlife conservationist do? Well, many of them are biologists, and they go out into the field or out into the environment, and they do different studies. They'll either study animal populations, they do counts. You know, some are also folks that work with state and government agencies like the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation. Basically, a conservationist is anyone that cares about the environment and does their own part to minimize their impact on the environment. You know, you can sometimes loosely, you know, people will say I'm a conservationist because I'll breed certain animals that are endangered. There are people doing much more than I do, but everyone doing their little part, no job too big or too small to help out animals and to help out the environment, right? So that's very important. And here, watch, you'll get a perfect idea. These guys will bite. Look at this. No, thank you, because I do not want to lose a finger. They got a pretty sharp bite, so I'm going to try and drop a thing in there. There you go. There you go, buddy. Dropped one in. What's going on? Let's see. Let's say the Turtle Temple asked a good question. In your opinion, what would you say about keeping elongated tortoises and yellowfoots together if raised together? If they are both captive raised, which means that you know that they weren't imported from the wild. You gonna bite my nose? They weren't imported from the wild. I wouldn't see an issue, as they both had the same diet, same humidity requirements, and same habitat requirements. So it's not that big of a deal. I keep all mine separate because these animals, the elongateds, in fact, guys, check this out. Here's an elongated tortoise that was definitely wild caught. And you know, because look at the damage on the shell. You see this? This animal definitely had a tough life where it was either burned in a fire or it was either attacked by some kind of animal. But this is the old bone, and this bone is going to pop off eventually, and then it'll be the keratin underneath it. It's really interesting. They heal from the inside out and they push out any of the old growth, and it takes years and years and years. This is a very old injury, and if you look, here's a piece of bone that is actually popped off, and there's the new scoot. It'll never be smooth again, but it's still a healthy animal. But this is how you know an animal was definitely not captive raised, because how would this animal have this kind of injury in captivity? This is an animal that was definitely maybe gnawed on by some kind of bigger animal. Here's another popped off bone scoot. Okay, here's some more pitting where the bones have popped off. But you can kind of see how this animal has kind of been through it. And usually animals that are born in the wild are the ones that got to be tough. But look how pretty that face is. Look at that head. Isn't that amazing? They are a really pretty tortoise. They may have kind of chilled out, drab colored shells, but they've got such cool heads. And that's the elongated. And this is a little gal, I believe. Yep, it's a little gal. There she is. We're going to let her back down because she was eating. So yeah, man, really cool stuff going on here. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, T-Tazer's waiting to see if I'll do a giveaway. I'm sure we'll do a giveaway. We're trying to get ourselves to 100,000 subs on YouTube. Maybe you guys can all help me out there by sharing the videos and along social media, and just overall giving us a thumbs up if you like what you see. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh, we're almost out of time. What is the best tortoise to get in Alabama? You can get your redfoots, yellowfoots, elongateds, mountain tortoises, leopards. You just got to make sure you bring them in if it gets too cold. Let's see. Is Central South Carolina a good place for herpetology work? Tyler Madison gets another question answered. Tyler, I got to be honest with you. The Turtle Survival Center is in South Carolina. I visited there, and I had the most fun catching snakes in South Carolina ever. I caught canebrake rattlesnakes, southern variety. I caught copperheads. There are water moccasins, just a plethora of snake species down there. And whenever you got the Tortoise Survival Center in your state, you're doing pretty good. Let's see. Hello from Germany. This is Sabrina Butel. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Your tortoises are so beautiful. We'd love to see them in real life. Hey, well, I hear you. You know, hopefully one day we'll be able to do a little bit of a Kamp Kenan situation at the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary where everyone can come visit. And if you come over from Germany, that would be great. I visited Germany. I'm half German, have German ancestry myself, Irish German, and I've been to Munich or München, Hamburg, Cologne. I didn't say that correctly. It's Cologne, Coin. I don't know how you guys say it over there. And Dusseldorf, and where else have I been? Berlin. It was back in '97. I had a great time. It was when I was doing BMX shows all over the country there. All right, Grace Brinkley, thank you very much for loving my videos. I enjoy doing them for you guys. And we're going to close off here. Is there any shell maintenance with these animals? Christopher Collins. No, just make sure you're feeding them correctly, providing the right environment and diet and humidity, and no maintenance. They all maintain their own shells. You just have to maintain their diet. Every once in a while, in captivity, I take that back. Every once in a while, you're going to get a little white fungus from time to time, especially if you let the animals live outdoors. I've found that tough actin tenactin or Lamisil, it's an antifungal foot cream. You can rub it on their shell. That'll help. or coconut oil is really great to help out too. All right, guys, I'm narrowing down here. We're almost at the end. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, what's the best tortoise? We already got that one. Try and get to some of the questions that were answered in the back here. I live in Havasu. Can they live out here? Yes, sulcatas, leopards. If you're living in Havasu, and that's in Arizona, I believe, that's a nice dry, arid environment. So I wouldn't do mountain tortoise out there because mountain tortoise require higher humidity. I would do a more dry species like your leopards, sulcatas, chaco, some of your spider tortoises, bowsprits, things of that nature, if you can get your hands on them, okay? All right, guys, very cool, man. I really enjoyed doing today's show. I hope you guys learned something about the black mountain tortoise and the elongated tortoise. I had fun, but now I got to clean up, I got to feed some animals, and pretty much get back to work here on the farm. So thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe. We'll have a new video coming up on Sunday, a new bonus video, and we have more shows to come. Thanks again. Enjoy a shot of the tortoises as I get out of the way. See you soon, everybody.